What's up, guys? It's Shadow Wolf here, and I'm about to do a reaction to top 5 Ouija board stories. I'm not looking forward to this at all, so let's just get this over and done with. I'm one of those people you can ask my friends that get really scared. Like, I'm so easy to scare. I get really startled quickly, and I've had some horrible experiences as a kid, so hopefully I can get through these. It's like 9 p.m. here where I am, and I'll probably go to bed after, but I probably won't sleep, so let's get started. Oh my god. Oh my god. Just to let you know, I don't believe in this stuff.
We've always had one of those old vintage Parker Brother Ouija boards sitting in our closet collecting dust. When I was
Just stay there, bro.
I always wondered what it was. From the box, it seemed like a horrible board game, until one day I found out what a Ouija board really is, and immediately dug it out of the closet. I insisted on my brother trying it out with me.
You can tell a white guy's telling this story.
And eventually got him to play along. We put our hands on the planchette, and I began asking the typical cliche questions like, "Is there anybody there?" and "Can you answer me?" Other than my brother jokingly moving the planchette around to imitate an answer from some kind of entity, there was no real response.
Don't trust your brother. Only do this with someone who will do it legit, because they could fuck with you mentally.
I did a little research that night to find out how to make Ouija boards work. Many people said online that the most ideal environment when using a Ouija board is in a dark room only lit by candles. So when my parents weren't home, I managed to gather like 6 or 7 candles and convinced my brother to try it one more time. I lit the candles and set them around the table in the dining room.
I don't like how this is going at all.
We tried one more time. I asked again if there was anybody there. The planchette began to move. I told my brother to stop moving it, but he swore he wasn't.
Oh, fuck.
I told him to move his hand away, and he did. It kept moving.
Dude, no.
My brother thought I was messing with him, but I didn't pay attention. The planchette landed on the word yes. I was only 9, so I was legitimately shitting myself.
Wait, I thought you said...
My older brother had to take over. He asked the question, "Are you a good spirit?" There was
Why would you ask that fucking question?
Before my brother's hand moved along with the planchette to the word
damn it.
no.
Your brother's a dick. Your brother's messing with you, dude.
And at this point, I ran to my room and shut the door behind me, but he continued on with the so-called game. I heard his muffled voice come from down in the dining room, when all of a sudden I heard him screaming at the top of his lungs.
Dude, your brother has to be messing with you. This is like fucked up.
He was holding up his shirt, revealing a small open wound that almost looked like a claw mark. He told me to set the fireplace immediately, and I obeyed. He threw the thing in the fireplace and told me to never speak of what happened to anybody. We have never used a Ouija board since.
Dude, that one sounds a bit far-fetched. It sounds like his brother's fucking with him.
Who said that he, his brother, his dad, and his best friend were using a Ouija board in their basement. Prior to starting,
what a fucking fun family activity.
Doll out of the room because it was creepy, and placed it in the adjacent room face down on a pile of towels. My cousin took a short break because the board was just spouting nonsense and he had to go to the bathroom. His dad and brother and friends started asking the board questions without him. One of the questions was, who is in the other room? It just started spouting random numbers, and when my cousin came back into the room, his brother said that it wasn't working, that they were going to put it away, and he showed him the answer to the last question he asked. And he said, "Dude, that's my social security number." Then they started to talk to whatever started spewing answers out.
Not believable, but okay.
I told my cousin he would die in the Air Force. At this point, they tell the entity they're communicating with to prove itself. It then spelled out the word doll, and they immediately got a bad feeling. They opened the door to check on the porcelain doll they had laid in the other room, and when they opened the door, the doll was standing up right in front of the door.
Oh, piss off, no, no.
Everyone freaked out and ran out of the house.
Dude, burn the fucking house. Burn the whole house. Fucking
for a few months.
Move to Mars.
My cousin, for some reason, then joined the Air Force and is on a base in Europe now.
But he's not dead. Okay, that was...
I had some of my friends over one night, so we tried out the Ouija board we found in someone's garbage. It had the board and the glass piece that you hold on to. The four of us held on to the piece and asked stupid questions, just messing around. At all times, one of us were moving around the glass piece just to try and fool the others. When one of my friends went to the bathroom and the other got bored, it was just me and one of my other friends still holding on to it.
Oh, dude.
I asked the board when I will die. And
why do you ask these fucking questions?
I laughed, looking at my friend, thinking it was him, but he just told me that he thought it was me. The piece then moved to the letter O, and then M, and then back to O.
Oh, no. No.
And then I realized that it was spelling out the word tomorrow.
Jesus, fuck.
My friend let go of it, and it stopped moving, so I was convinced that it was him. But he swore left and right it wasn't him. But here's where it gets horrifying.
I died.
The next day, while walking my dog to the preserve, my dog's collar suddenly snaps and he was free from the leash. He darted into the road and I immediately chased after him, only to hear the horn of an oncoming car blaring and getting louder. I dove as fast as I could out of the way, just barely grazing the car with my foot as it passed. But it didn't end there. The same day, while sitting under the ceiling fan in the kitchen on full blast, I got up to get something out of the fridge. And behind me, I heard a loud crashing sound as all the glass on the table was shattered and everything fell onto the floor. The fan had fallen off the ceiling, and I was inches away from being decapitated.
Dude,
I really don't know if I find it to be a coincidence that the day after the Ouija board said I would die the next day, that I had 2 near-death experiences.
Yep, but you didn't die, did you?
All I know is I'm never touching a Ouija board again.
Okay, I think the next 2 are going to get really fucked up.
I have never really told people about this. We had a huge closet full of old board
Why would
games,
you?
And one of them happened to be a Ouija board. I always wanted to try it out, but my family was always home, and I felt weird trying it in front of them.
Why do so many people have these?
There was this one weekend that my parents were going to the city, and my brother was going on a Boy Scout campout, so I would have the whole house to myself for a weekend.
Oh,
it might
why?
have been pathetic that I was more excited to try out a Ouija board than to party with friends while the house was empty. The weather was terrible, windy and rainy.
If you're by yourself, you don't fuck around with this shit. Oh my.
Around midnight, I set up the board in my dining room and dimmed the lights. I asked a bunch of questions that generated no answers, so I eventually put the board away and went to bed. I woke up in the middle of the night to hear a creaking noise downstairs by the front door. At first I thought nothing of it, but then I heard it again, and it was closer this time. Closer to the stairs. I sat up now. At this point I was getting concerned. Another creaking sound, this time from one of the stairs. I was sure somebody was in my house. This was before cell phones were mainstream, so calling the police wasn't even an option. The creaking sounds were getting closer until they were right outside my door.
Oh, dude,
and then they just stopped.
Oh, fuck.
It felt like hours while I laid there clutching my covers, waiting for something to happen.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
And I swore I could see some kind of black limb-type objects wrapped around the open door. I tried to hold my breath to be as quiet as possible, but what happened next was the worst part. My door suddenly slammed shut, and I couldn't help but let out a shriek. By now I was
and then you're frozen, right? You can't do anything. Oh, dude, no.
All the windows in the house were closed, so there was no draft. I just knew something was going to happen.
I'm not sleeping tonight.
But nothing happened. I sat under my covers for hours, thinking somebody or something was in the room with me.
Oh, fuck.
When the sun started to rise, I finally snuck a peek out of my covers. My room was just as empty as before. I somehow found the courage to leave my bedroom and search for any signs of a break-in. Everything looked normal, though. No broken windows or unlocked doors.
I couldn't do it.
I then spotted the Ouija board on the table again. I have always been kind of superstitious, so I immediately linked the happenings to the Ouija board. I chucked the damn thing in the outside trash can and brought it out front to the curb.
You don't do that. You burn the bastard.
And I didn't tell anybody about it. You wouldn't understand unless you were in that kind of situation. Then you would agree.
Oh, I've had some bad fucking trips before. I know what happened, trust me.
Nobody really knows except for the people that read my story online. I know for a fact that those events were linked to the Ouija board.
That bolt of lightning just sent my heart, like, Oh my god, this last one's gonna be fucked. Okay.
I can tell you from personal experience that trying a Ouija board is a huge mistake. It was the summer of 2013. My friend had a vintage Ouija board that was allegedly worth a decent amount of money. My friend agreed to trade it with me for a video game that I never played, so I happily made the trade. I tried using it alone, but it proved to be just a scam. I didn't really expect it to work. I mainly got it just for the money to be made off of it.
Okay.
I threw the stupid thing on the floor of my living room and forgot about it.
Yeah, I want to sell it off.
Everything was going normal.
Throw it on the floor.
The next morning.
Oh, dude, no.
I woke up and found that the 2 plants I had sitting on my coffee table had been knocked over, and the Ouija board was sitting on the table. I didn't remember putting it there, nor did I understand how the plants could have fallen over. Wind was definitely
Someone's messing with you, dude.
I wondered if it was possible that I had sleepwalked, or maybe I was half awake and walked down to get a glass of water and bumped into them or something.
Or maybe your family's just fucked up.
I moved everything back in place, but the carpet already had dirt stains on it. I brought the Ouija board box up to my room and tossed it on the floor.
Again, you didn't learn your mistake the fucking first time? Oh my god.
While laying awake in the dark, I was disturbed by the sound of a muffled click.
Oh fuck, dude, no.
I looked up, not sure what it was, and then I saw through the cracks of my closet door that my closet light was on. I had no idea how it could have turned on, but I got up and opened the closet door anyway. There was nobody in there, but that hadn't even crossed my mind. I turned the light off and jumped back into bed. Probably 10 minutes later, I heard the same clicking sound.
Oh, dude, come on,
Naturally,
mate.
I looked to the closet
and the light was on.
My heart sink a little. The closet light was on again. A mix of confusion and fear started building up inside of me. I once again turned off the light and cautiously got back in my bed. I found myself waiting for the closet light to click on again. But what happened instead was much worse.
Dude.
Instead of the closet light turning on, the whole room suddenly filled with light as I heard the main light switch flick on.
Oh my god.
I had seen enough and was out the door within seconds. I quickly pieced things together and chucked that old Ouija board in the closest dumpster. Nothing weird ever happened after that.
That one's not that bad, though. You didn't even mess with it. Alright. Guys, I think Ouija boards are fake, but the stuff that could happen in your room mentally, like, you tell yourself, like, this stuff could happen, and it affects your mind. Like, you hear, like, creaks and all that, and you get scared. The one thing you don't do is do not do this when you're alone in your house, because, dude, that's just going to fuck you up. You're not going to sleep. And what happens is you're so scared in your bed that you get paralysis and you freeze. I've had horrible sleep paralysis, and if you want me to do a video on that, oh boy, you guys are in for a friggin' treat. I'll tell you my own stories of sleep paralysis. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and peace.